The right to vote is a freedom granted by the United States Constitution, but it's one that can be taken away.
Iowa is one of a handful of states where people with a criminal conviction can lose their right to vote for life. CBS 2 News reporter Jason Hackett is here to show us why some are trying to change that. Jason?
Yeah, Scott and Tiffany, back in 2011, Governor Terry Branstad signed Executive Order Number 70. It essentially bans felons from voting after completing their sentences unless their rights are restored by the governor. One Iowa mom says that's just not fair, and she's filing a lawsuit against the governor and the Secretary of State to change that.
Kelly Jo Griffin lost her voting rights in 2008. The Montrose resident was convicted of delivering less than 100 grams of cocaine and was sentenced to 5 years of probation.
I am a changed person. I should be able to vote in things regarding my child's school, regarding my community.
Now, 6 years later, Griffin says she wants to take part in the democratic process, but the state says otherwise.
That doesn't make sense.
When Governor Terry Branstad took over in 2011, he reversed the previous felon voting law signed by Governor Tom Vilsack, which allowed automatic reinstatement. Branstad called the new policy, quote, good and fair, and that automatically restoring the right to vote would, quote, damage the balance between the rights and responsibility of citizens. The American Civil Liberties Union says it was the latest change in a law that has been constantly evolving.
One governor would come into office and issue an executive order saying one thing, and then another governor would come in and say another thing.
Griffin got caught in that web in 2013 as she went to go cast her ballot and was arrested for fraud, unaware that the law changed. She faced 15 years in jail, but was later acquitted. In the lawsuit, the ACLU says according to provisions in the Constitution, she shouldn't have been arrested in the first place.
The Iowa Constitution, if interpreted correctly, doesn't disenfranchise people who are convicted of lower-level felonies, such as Kelly's nonviolent drug offense. It's one of those cases where you kind of think, do we live in America exactly?
Also in that lawsuit, Griffin is asking for her right to vote back, as well as stopping the state from bringing charges against anyone with lower-level felonies who tries to vote. Now, we reached out to the Secretary of State's office today. They said because they hadn't received the lawsuit yet, they were unable to comment. Jason Hackett, CBS 2 News, 10 at 10.